Sorry, because we're having sound problems with the live stream. Okay, Oseh Shalom on 180. Oseh Shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'yakol Yisrael, ve'yakol yoshvei tevel, v'imru, amen. Oseh Shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'yakol Yisrael, ve'yakol yoshvei tevel, v'imru, amen. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu, v'yakol Yisrael. 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 Okay, some words of Torah. So, in this week's Torah portion, God says this: if you will heed your God Adonai diligently, doing what is upright in God's sight, giving ear to God's commandments and keeping all God's laws, then I will not bring upon you any of the disease that I brought upon the Egyptians, for I, Adonai, am your healer. In our tradition, Adonai takes on a lot of roles. And throughout these last few Torah portions in these last weeks, Adonai has mostly been what I would call miracle worker. But we also see Adonai play the role of creator of the universe. Adonai plays the role of guide and teacher and judge. But rarely do I think of Adonai as just a healer. But in unpacking the quote here, I don't believe God is just saying that Adonai will prevent the Israelites from getting disease. Because, just spoiler alert here, we know later that Adonai does in fact give the Israelites disease due to the golden calf incident. But with more context, I believe Adonai is saying something so much more than that God will heal sickness. Because the quote comes right after Adonai saved the Israelites from the oncoming Egyptian soldiers in chariots who changed their mind about letting the Israelites go. And through a series of breathtaking miracles, God prevents the Egyptians from reaching the Israelites. God splits the Red Sea, God ushers the Israelites through it, and then closes the Red Sea upon the Egyptian soldiers. The Israelites celebrate with a song of the sea and the song of Miriam, and they then come to a well of bitter waters, and only after Adonai makes the waters taste sweet does Adonai proclaim that God is the healer of the Israelites. And based on my lived experiences, I don't see this any other way than Adonai pronouncing that God will help heal the Israelites' trauma. And as we're about to discover in the next few Torah portions, the Israelites may be free, but they are not free from trauma. And trauma, especially when experienced collectively, makes life so complex. And how could the Israelites not be traumatized by their generations of slavery, by witnessing the 10 plagues, and their narrow escape? And Adonai's approach to healing the Israelites is comprehensive. First, Adonai really embraces the walk-it-off philosophy we see all children's coaches use for kids' sports. Adonai's plan to have the Israelites shed their trauma through 40 years of walking it off, which, as we know, leads to a generational change for the Israelites, a dynamic I'll get into in a moment. Next, Adonai offers to provide sustenance and clothing for the Israelites, promising them that as long as they're walking, they will never go hungry or need to fix their clothes. And I thought this was a pretty smart idea, allowing the Israelites to focus on healing instead of food and clothing, except it backfires. The Israelites reject the monotony of manna and even claim they prefer slavery again just to access variety in food. And this, I believe, is the trauma talking. And Adonai, in a moment of intense anger, instead gives them too much quail as a form of punishment, which I find kind of ridiculous. But anyways, moving on. The next thing Adonai does is provide them a law code to give their lives structure and meaning and to help build a successful society. This also backfires with the whole golden calf incident. But once again, I would argue these are the actions of a traumatized people, working through their trauma. This is also the moment where Adonai, in anger, strikes the Israelites with the plague, which ends up killing a few thousands of them. And finally, Adonai gives the Israelites a society-wide project in building and protecting the Mishkan, the sacred tent of meeting. This also provides structure and meaning in their lives by giving the Israelites a project to focus on rather than reliving all their own trauma. And it imparts the Israelites with a sense of communal accomplishment when they finish the Mishkan, which can be a very healing experience. And what I love about our Torah is that it has no problem showing us a vulnerable and an embarrassing time for our people. During this time, the Israelites, due to their trauma, let their fear overcome their common sense and their gratitude. And even while free, they mourned and missed their lives as slaves because it was a life they were used to. And they complained constantly to Adonai about this great change in their lives. And this is the humble beginnings of a people who discovered how to create a community that will continue in every era of history right up to the present. And Adonai understood profusely that their trauma would hold them back if they let it. But also, Adonai struggled to be the Israelites' healer. The Torah has no problem showing us that God did not deal with their trauma gracefully. It often aggravated Adonai so badly that God threatened to wipe them off the face of the earth. Moses saves the Israelites numerous times just by calming Adonai down and reminding Adonai that God is attempting to heal a traumatized people, and that effort is a process that takes time, apparently around 40 years. And this length of time shows another strategy utilized by Adonai to manage collective trauma, a recognition that the older generation was not equipped with the resilience to manage it, and that a new generation had to grow with the resilience to manage trauma. Because if the Torah has taught me anything, it's that there is no avoiding trauma in our lives. At one point, every single person is going to encounter something that imprints a traumatic experience into their very being. There's no avoiding it. And when this does happen, we must rely on tools and techniques of resilience. And Adonai the healer teaches what we need for resilience. We need community, not just to share our problems, but celebrate with each other, something we do every Shabbat. We need structured rules to guide our lives. We need projects that help us focus and give us a feeling of accomplishment. And modern psychology and therapy has provided us with even more tools to manage trauma. We need to practice self-care. We need to be able to learn to lean on a support system and process our feelings with others and with professionals. The Torah teaches us that being free does not mean a life of ease. That freedom isn't just something we fight for, but an opportunity to heal from the bondage we've experienced in our lives. Sometimes even then, healing is not something that is offered to us, but something we must actively seek out. And I have a feeling we're going to require a lot of healing in our future. I want you all to know that Congregation Beth Shalom is a place where you can seek it out. That we are here for each other, and that we can embrace Adonai as healer in this space. Thank you. Speaking of healing, we now move to the Misha Berach on page 371, your prayer book. In our own community, we're thinking about Ross Rumack, Frank Eriskin, Haley Goodstein, Alex Sportnick, Micah Purdy, Susan Mermelstein, Megan Krass, Kara Clift, Deborah Moradian, Pat Victor, Denny Victor, Josie Haas, Alice Sebastiana, and Clarice Amelia. If there's someone you are thinking of who is in need of healing, please feel free to say their names out loud or in your hearts. Mishe Be'erach Avoteinu Mekor HaBracha Le'imotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mishe Be'erach Imotenu Mekor HaBracha Le'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. We now move to the Aleinu on page 587 of our prayer books. And when you arrive there, I invite you to stand with me. Aleinu l'shabech la'adon ha'kol, la'tei gedulah le'yoser breshit, shehu samchel kenu le'chedek shemo, v'goraleinu lahamlik malchuto, v'anachnu korim, u'mishachavim u'mozim, lifnei melech malchei hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Turn to page 591. May we gain wisdom in our lives, overflowing like a river with understanding. Love each of us for the peace we bring to others. May our deeds exceed our speech. May we never lift up our hand, but to conquer fear and doubt and despair. Rise up like the sun, O God, over all humanity, and cause light to go forth over all the lands between the seas, and light up the universe with the joy of wholeness, freedom, and peace. V'ne'emar v'haya Adonai l'melech kol ha'aretz v'yom hahu yiyeh Adonai echad u'shemo We now move to the Mourner's Kaddish on page 598 of our prayer books, and in this week we're thinking about these yahrzeits: Max Arnovitz, Max Greenstein, Jean Martin, Ernest Nathan, Elizabeth Robinson, David Silverman, and Robert Spees. If there's someone who you are thinking about, please feel free to say their names out loud or in your hearts. Zichronenu livracha, may memories be for a blessing. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, be'alma divra chayote v'yamlik malchute, b'chayechon u'v'yamechon u'v'chayedechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'vizman kari v'imru amen. Yehi shmei rabbah mevarak la'olam u'lalmaya, yitbarak v'yishtabak v'yitpa'ar v'yibramam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudusha barichu. Le'elah min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru, amen. Yehei Shlama Rabba Min Shemaya, L'chaim Aleni Ve'akol Yisrael Li'imru. Amen. Oseh Shalom B'imromav, Hu Ya'aseh Shalom, Aleni Ve'akol Yisrael Li'imru. Amen. We're going to create harmony on high, bring peace to us and to all Israel, to which we say, Amen. You may be seated. I invite Roy up here to offer some announcements.
Thank you, Rabbi. You are all welcome here. You all belong here. Our Shabbat evening services are at 6 p.m. every Friday evening. And then on the second Friday of the month, we have Tat Shabbat at 6, which everyone's welcome to, but the focus is on families with young children and those who want to be with families with young children. And then there's a second service that night at 7:15, more traditional form. We have Oneg after services on Friday nights, back in the multi-purpose room. Please consider signing up to sponsor an Oneg in honor of a yahrzeit, a birthday, or other anniversary. We have Shabbat morning services and Torah study starting 10:30 on Saturday mornings, running till around noon, and you're all welcome for that. We have 2 weekday Minyan prayer services. Wednesday morning is by Zoom in our regular Zoom room, 8:30 to 9, and Thursday morning right here in person, 8:30 to 9 at the synagogue, followed by breakfast at Kava Pancake House for those who feel like it and have time. We have special events going on once a month or so. Third Saturday is Exploring Judaism, and that's from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. in our regular Zoom room, and everyone's welcome to attend that. There's an opportunity to help feed the hungry every third Saturday afternoon at Fairview Rec Center on East 10th Avenue. If you show up around 12:30 or 1, you can help with setup, which is a fairly complex thing, takes about an hour. And then around 1:30 and 2, opportunity literally to help hand food to those in need. Let's see. I host an informal study group on Fridays after Oneg for people wanting to improve their ability to read from our Siddur in the Latin alphabet transliteration of Hebrew. And we meet in the library, so join me for that this week if you like. I won't be here next week, but please come to services anyway. Our third Wednesday evening is our CBS Board of Trustees meeting, 7 p.m. live in the synagogue library and also available via Zoom. All CBS members are welcome to and encouraged to attend. Religious school meets on Sundays, 9:30 to 10, Hebrew classes for different ages. 10 o'clock is Shabbat Time Machine, trademark by our world-famous rabbi. And that is followed with individual Sunday school classes, including adults. I'm trying to think what they were calling it. Adult Shabbat Cafe or something like that over there in that room right there. And I will also mention that CBS's annual campout is coming up again this year, July 24th to 27th at Trail River Campground near Seward. Individuals and families of all ages are encouraged to attend, and well-behaved dogs are welcome as well. Have I forgotten some announcements? And Brenda, come on up. Brenda, our CBS president.
We are still working out the details, but on March 13th at 6 p.m., we will be having our Purim celebration. This year it's Heroic Purim. Come as your favorite superhero, whether it's DC, Marvel, Gamer, you name it. There's different categories, but your favorite hero. And also on April 13th, we will be having our second Seder. Passover here. We're still in the beginning stages of planning that. Also, for Purim, I also need to mention that The JEC is having an event from 4:30 to 5:30, and then we'll be doing a reset and having our event from 6 to about 7:30 or 8 o'clock. Anything else? Okay, so come celebrate holidays.
All right, well, our closing melody will be on page 647. And what's super cool is that today's closing melody is in this week's Torah portion. We're at the bottom. Ozi vazimrat ya vayahi lishua. 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 Shabbat Shalom.